Hey everybody, I'm author R.G. Long, and welcome to another edition of Indie Author Books. Today we're going to be looking at two great books. I'm really excited about it because one of them is a good friend of mine. Another one, the book just looks fantastic. So just to give you a quick reminder about what we do here, we're going to look at the cover of the book, the blurb or the description. We're going to look at the first page, just going to read a little bit on my phone, and then we'll also look at the reviews so that you can find out if you're going to be reading your next favorite indie author sometime here soon. Okay, so the first book we're going to look at today is called Warrior Lord, an epic military fantasy novel. All right, so I am a big fan of this cover. It looks great because you have this guy who seems like he is struggling on the struggle bus. He's gripping his sword the way you never want to, by the blade over there on the side. And we got a castle going on behind him, and if you look real close, it looks like we got some eyes like looking down on him. So it looks like we've got some issue happening for sure. I don't want to read the description of this book because this is book 4 of 5. Okay, so it is in a series of books, and I would hate to spoil anything for you if you haven't read Paul J. Bennett's Power Ascending journey. So we're actually going to look at Temple Knight for the rest of this. So we're going to be looking at Temple Knight for the whole rest of this. And with this here, we have a female knight. She has got her armor on. She's holding her sword. In the background, we have some boats in the water. So it just looks like a fantastic fantasy cover. Looking good there. All right, let's read the description of this book that I want to read. Phone, let me do this. Okay, here we go. All right, description. Life took a twist she never expected. All Charlene ever wanted was to follow in her father's footsteps until the moment she was forced to leave her old life behind to save her family. Banished, her future uncertain, she begins anew as a temple knight, traveling to a distant land, seeking a place to call home. When the past catches up with her, destroying any chance of a new life, it's only after raiders ransack the coast that Charltain's true mettle emerges. Suspecting all is not as lost as it seems, she devises a plan that reveals a far greater danger than anyone ever imagined. With her new family of Temple Knights, Charlene leads them in a desperate gambit to thwart the ambitions of a mighty foe who has the power to destroy them all. I like that. I like that description a lot. That's really, really good. I also like that when I click the book and try to get to that first page, it takes me to some maps. Always love maps in books. So let's see. Oh, okay, we have introduction here. And so that's what we're going to read from the book for just that first little part. Oh, I got a lot of scrolling to do. Here we go. Not introduction. Induction. Yeah. Spring 1095 SR * Saints Reckoning. Okay. Charlene Desandra stood motionless on the street, her sword resting loosely within its scabbard, ready at a moment's notice. Her fellow initiates were there with her, each dressed in the white cassock of a knight in training, bearing the scarlet waves of St. Agnes, the colors reversed from that of a full temple knight. Of those gathered, she was the oldest by far. Most joined the order between the ages of 16 and 19, but at 24, she had started much later in life. The arch-prioress had assured her that such a thing was not unheard of, but her experience thus far said otherwise. Charlene looked to her fellow initiates who were standing nearby, nervously watching the run-down boarding house before them. Their orders had come early that morning: stand guard and keep any spectators at bay while the knights of the order search for a criminal. A temple captain of St. Agnes, resplendent in her plate armor and scarlet tabard, looked their way. You're only here to keep people back. Do not enter the building. Is that clear? Yes, Captain, they echoed back in unison. The knight, satisfied her instructions were understood, joined the other members of the order as they moved forward, shields to the front with weapons drawn. The captain advanced, kicking open the door as she led her contingent of 6 into the building. All right, that sounds pretty cool. We got knight in training, just watching, hanging out while the action's going on, getting to the action pretty quick. Okay, it looks like we have 138 global ratings, 4.6 out of 5. Wow, that is fantastic. Really good job there. Okay, and the first 5-star review is another intriguing series for Mr. Bennett. For starters, I certainly recommend reading the very good prequel Temple Steel, which introduces Charlene and explains why an excellent, experienced master smith winds up as a religious order of Temple Knights assigned to the outpost of the far reaches of the country. It's a well-written story, very intriguing story arc, filled with deep inspection of character traits that pulled me into the story, making me feel as if I was a part of the action. I'm eager to start the next book and to follow this series to its conclusion. All right, so really, really cool. Good job. We have a few 1 and 3-star, not any 2-star ratings, 1 and 3-star ratings, not a ton, not very, 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 very few. So the lowest negative rating is a 4-star, slow start, but really picks up. Let's see. Reading the prologue, all I could think of was boring, crammed with detail, which I really want to gloss over. Kind of glad I kept going, as by chapter 3, those details really made sense, and the pace had picked up tremendously. All right. Characters are pretty well developed and different enough in personality and history to be individuals. Looking forward to seeing more of Danica, especially, and I have a feeling Charlene is going places fast. Okay. Once the book got moving, it kept me on the edge of my seat and awake way past my bedtime. So given the improvement, I'll probably spring for the next in the series, even though some of the dialogue seems stifled at times. Well, you can't ask for a better low rating review than that. So if you've not read Temple Knight, an epic fantasy novel, Power Ascending Book 1, you should. If you've read this whole series, check out Book 4, which is just recently released by Paul J. Bennett. Looking good. Looking good there. Okay, the next book that we are going to be looking at is from a friend of mine who I really just appreciate her work. She is a phenomenal author and just is writing like crazy. Sarah K.L. Wilson, and this is her series Fly with the Arrow, a Bluebird-inspired fantasy, Bluebird Secret, Book 1. All right, the first thing that gets me is I love this cover. I just think it's so cool, and I like the title as well. It's really clever, Fly with the Arrow. Super, super cool. We have 1 arrow, 2 bows, we have lots of flowers, some dainty stuff. All the rest of the series has similar covers too. So it's a little different, super, super cool. I'm a big fan. It's Fly with an Arrow, Dance with the Sword, Give your heart to the barrow, and die with your lord. And so far, that rhymes. So well done, Sarah. That's great. Okay. So to the description. A stolen bride, a terrifying bridegroom, the game that will determine their fates. I'm a practical girl. I can resign myself to an unwanted marriage, and I had. I just hadn't expected my first potential bridegroom to be murdered by the second. Oh no. It's all because I broke the law of greeting. No one warned me the law existed. No one told me breaking it would mean I'd be swept up into the arms of a powerful and beautiful immortal, bent on taking me as his 16th bride and dragging me off to a strange fairy tale world. That's a bit much to ask of a person. But I'm not the kind of girl to just give up. Not even if it means facing all the strange puzzles and magic of this mad fey world with nothing but my common sense and determination. I will not mope in my room or go crazy or let myself be killed by one of his rivals, and I will absolutely not fall in love with him. Okay. I like that a lot, Sarah. That's super cool. All right, so let's read this description here. Not description, sorry. Let's read this first chapter here. Chapter 1. Some laws are talked about by all, featured in story and song, and as a result, it's easy to know that if you turn traitor to the king, you'll soon see your head mounted on the battlements of Pinsmore, or if you steal another woman's horse, a hempen noose will be last to embrace you. It's not those laws that are a problem, it's the other kind of laws, the laws no one talks about, like the law of first greeting. And it's those laws that bite you in the end, just like that law bit me. Isolde must come to court with me this season, my father declared one day before riding out into the hunt. When he said that, I'd never heard the law of the first greeting. You must be careful to be very polite to the fine ladies of the court, Isolde, my mother warned as she packed my fur robes and velvet gowns into a small chest. Remember what I taught you. They will all be above your station. Try to be meek. Try not to judge others so harshly. And whatever you do, don't decide to go out shooting or riding with your brothers. She was wiping tears from her eyes, as she always did when one of us left. She would miss us sorely, even though she would have had no idea how long it would be gone for. Be a good girl. Help the women with their weaving and stitching, and they will be very pleased with you. You're young and very beautiful." She paused to stroke my face lovingly as she said that. "But trust me, Isolde, that beauty will fade in time, and you'll be sorry if you haven't made use of it while you had the chance. Have some fun, flirt, enjoy yourself." She paused, as if worried she said too much. "But don't do more than that, because your father will be working very hard to secure a wise match for you. It's high time we find someone suitable. You can't live here forever, and you're already 19. We got to get that girl out of the house. She's 19 years old. It's time to go." Okay, for reviews, we have 777 global ratings, a 4.5 out of 5-star average. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the first 5-star says right here, "Who can write words that break your heart, that leave you begging for more? What can be so cruel as to tear you out your heart and still leave you smiling?" An author, more specifically, Miss Wilson. Wow, this is a very high praise. Absolutely wanted to read the next book. Until then, I'm going to start rereading this one. I'm obsessed. It's official. Okay, well that's high praise right there. Do we have any 3 stars? Oh, okay. We have a 3-star review, and it just says, "I'm torn. On one hand, I really found the whole Bluebeard story really intriguing. I even Googled the real story and read parts of the other text about him. However, I had to force myself to continue reading the last 10 chapters. I couldn't focus on the story anymore. I got bored, but I wanted to know why the previous spoilers. The ending remained unable to grab my attention, and everything just fell flat for me. I hate to admit it, because I really wanted to like the story, but I just don't think it was for me. Shrug emoji." So there you go. And another person says, "I liked it, and I didn't. Great book. Blah, 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 blah." It's all good. Yeah. So that looks fantastic. So if you are a fantasy reader who's got a little bit more for the romantic side, Fly with the Arrow should be something that you see right there. Oh my goodness, it just sounds amazing. Sarah K.L. Wilson, you done it. It looks great. You got a 4-book series here. It's looking fantastic. You should definitely check it out. Final thoughts. 2 great books. 2 awesome opportunities for you to dive into new authors with new series. You should go and check them out. You will be glad that you did. And if you aren't looking for a different author, you should check my books out. They're down in the description below. Hey, thanks so much for watching. And as always, you can find the links for those 2 books that I just reviewed, as well as others, in the description below as well. Go check them out. My name is author R.G. Long. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the journey.